Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the show. So I got some big news here. Luigi Mangione's top terrorism charges have been thrown out by a judge in the state case in a massive blow to the DA. I want to read from New York Post just to shit on them. I know they're hurt about this. Man, when did New York Post turn into such an obvious right-wing rag? It's a joke. And what is this about? What? They arrested him on child porn charges? That guy, the one that was up screaming, shoot me, I did it at the Charlie Kirk thing. That's crazy. It's funny how whenever it's a high-profile shooting, they always break out child porn charges to throw at somebody that was involved with it peripherally. It's weird. That happens a lot. It happened in Vegas. It happened with the guy who tried to assassinate Trump the second time. I can never remember his name. The crazy guy down in Florida. He was going to shoot him at the golf course. His son got hit with child porn charges. Stephen Paddock's brother in Vegas got hit with child porn charges. And now this. I'm noticing a pattern here. Anyways, maybe these guys maybe it's just these white guys. Maybe there's just not much there. Maybe there's not any deeper meaning to it. It's just these white guys. I say it all the time. Anyways, Luigi Mangione top terrorism charges thrown out by DA. Alright. Thrown out by judge, excuse me. I'm bloated the DA. A judge has thrown out the top counts in Luigi Mangione's state murder case, rejecting claims that the accused killer can be charged as a terrorist in a huge blow to prosecutors. In a ruling released Tuesday, Judge Gregory Caro tossed charges of murder in the first degree as an act of terrorism and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism against the 27-year-old Ivy League grad. The judge did keep alive Mangione's other second-degree murder charge for allegedly executing United Healthcare CEO in cold blood outside the healthcare company's investor conference on December 4th, 2024. You know, it's been that long. Feels like yesterday. I remember waking up all hazy and seeing that footage for the first time. All black and white. I think it was in black and white, all low quality. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? But yeah, now we know. The people presented sufficient evidence that the defendant murdered Brian Thompson in a premeditated and calculated execution. That does not mean, however, that the defendant did so with terroristic intent. And it literally wasn't terrorism, because if it was terrorism, definition of terrorism on top of my head is violence done for a political or social aim. And yeah, he did violence for a political aim, but the thing is, he didn't terrorize anybody. He shot one guy in a very targeted attack with a silencer. There's no terrorism involved. Nobody even heard this shot fired. And, he didn't shoot at anybody else. He didn't use a bomb. And he said he considered using a bomb, but he didn't want to hurt anybody else. And that's specifically in his manifesto saying he didn't want to hurt anybody else. That's not terrorism. I don't think killing one CEO is terrorism. It has to be more than that. Anyways. The ruling means that Mangione still faces 25 years to life in the state case, but that he will be eligible for parole if convicted at trial. The accused assassin had previously faced 25 years to life without the possibility of parole in the first degree. And can you even really prove that he did this for a political aim, though? It's just just a personal vendetta to me. The company screwed him over, so he went after the CEO. Mangione also still faces separate federal charges that carry a possible death penalty. Okay, so one thing that did always confuse me about this case, I followed it pretty damn closely back when it was happening, and was that he wrote in his manifesto that these parasites deserved it. Who were the other people he was going to target? He just shot one guy. Were there other targets, or what? Or he chicken out, or was it a typo? It's just always something I worried about, or not. I wondered about, worried about. I'm the CEO. CEO being pretty damn sexy. Caro announced the bombshell ruling during a 15-minute hearing in Manhattan Supreme Court that Mangione attended wearing a tan prison outfit over a maroon shirt. Can we get a picture of that? These guys hot, right? There you go. I like that. It's a nice look. The maroon over the tan looks like the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nice look. And a nice haircut, too. This dude is still beautiful. This dude's been in prison all this fucking time. Still beautiful. We're going to cover this story, too. HBO Star Slam for the fuck ICE and free Palestine. I love that. White women can get away with it. That's great. We need more white women to do step up and do brave shit like that, because you can get away with it. All right. Where we at? As he was led out of the room in shackles, the scion of a wealthy Bellator, what I got, MMA on the mind? Baltimore family raised his eyebrow. Oh, I don't want to show that. Why would you show that video? Man, bro, it's in the mini player too. I can't show violence. Come on. Where were we? Okay. As he lay out of the room in shackles, the sign of a wealthy Baltimore family, raised his eyebrows while looking toward two dozen of his supporters, mostly young women, seated at the back of the court. I love this, man. There's probably dudes out there that hating on him just because he got young women fucking following him around like he's a fucking rock star. I love it. I love it. Like this murderer has all these young women that want to fuck him. It's amazing. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bray, something new either. I think Charles Manson, people like that had groupies and shit. There's weird people out there. People want to marry like these murderers. They write like messages to them in jail like they get married sometimes. There's some weird people out there. People think it is weird, but there's 8 billion people in the world. People have different motivations and different desires in life. You know what I mean? You can't like place your feelings, your desires, your outlook onto anybody else because it will never match up one for one. There's fucked up people out there. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg was wildly overcharging Mangione in an attempt to make a great headline, veteran defense attorney Ron Kuby said at the time. In New York State, murder in the first degree is typically charged in the rare cases involving victims who are law enforcement members, possible witnesses to crimes, firefighters, or medical personnel. It can also be used in terrorism cases. Was Brian Thompson not medical personnel? The answer is no, he was not. Bragg's office had argued that Mangione could be considered for a terrorism charge because he felt, or I can't read, man. My like ability to read just like drops off the farther we get to the article. Because he meant to kill Thompson to intimidate or coerce the civilian population and claim the judge rejected. Like, who he wasn't trying to converse with the civilian population? How was he supposed to know that he would become a massive star through this? He killed someone, allegedly. He didn't think he was going to be a star. That's on the people. That wasn't premeditated. That's after the fact. The defendant's apparent objection, as stated in his writings, was not to threaten, intimidate, or coerce. Objective was not to threaten, intimidate, or coerce, but rather to draw attention to what he perceived as the greed in the insurance industry, Carroll wrote. And he drew attention to it all right. You know, I don't agree with his methods. Not all of them. But it worked. Evidence presented to the grand jury. Nobody thought we'd have a big national conversation about healthcare after that. You know, well, you just killed a guy. This is how you start a conversation. Actually, it was the best way to start a conversation about healthcare in this country. It turns out. Get a really good-looking white guy to do it. And then we'll actually talk about it. Evidence presented to the grand jury that indicted Mangione in December was legally insufficient to support the terrorism charges. Mangione's remaining charge of second-degree murder means he's still charged with intentionally killing Thompson, a father of two. Everybody has a family. Just not an act of terrorism. They always got to mention that you have a family. Of course, that's great. What do you do in life? They got him targeted by an assassin. The University of Pennsylvania, like, you know, CEOs of let's just name something random. The CEO of like a baby formula company ain't getting shot. You know what I mean? They provide a service. They're not like, you know, cutting people off from healthcare, but you know, through an AI algorithm, callously. The University of Pennsylvania grad is due back in court on the state case on December 1st. I always say it might sound fucked up, but you know, I respect police. So I've said before, I don't have to constantly explain this. I don't hate law enforcement. I never came on here and said I hate law enforcement, but people assume that when you're black. But firefighters rarely ever get targeted. Police get ambushed all the time. Why is that? It's what you do in life. A DA's office spokesperson said in a statement Tuesday, "We respect the court's decision and will proceed on the remaining 9 counts, including murder in the second degree." I'm not justifying murder of police officers or ambushing, but I'm saying firefighters ain't violating your civil rights. Police do that all the time. And there's even police officers. I've heard former police officers that are free to speak. See, yeah, we violate people's civil rights every day. Because we had to. It was a directive given down from the top of their department. Mangione is also due back in court on December 5th in the federal case, which U.S. Attorney Pam Bondi has announced plans to take the rare step of asking for the death penalty. They just want to kill this guy so bad. They ain't going to bring Brian Thompson back. 1.5 thousand comments, but I bet shit is crazy. I'm not going to read any of it. Prosecutors have said the Mangione plotted Thompson's murder to make a political point about the healthcare industry that he mused in his diary extracts human life force for money. I mean, it does. It factually does. The accused killer Etch denied opposing defend on bullets that were recovered at the scene, phrases that echo terms the healthcare industry has been accused of using to reject claims. All right, that's it. But yeah, that's pretty damn huge. The terrorism charge has been dismissed. It's going to be harder to prove to justify the death penalty now, which I never thought you'd get the death penalty. But like, it's crazy they want a white guy to get the death penalty. The race dynamics in this country are so weird to me sometimes. Like, Trump was talking about deporting Ukrainians, like hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians back in February. That was shocking to me. And then, giving this good-looking white guy from an Ivy League school in a rich family that death penalty? Like, damn, they want to kill white people now? That's crazy. Anyways, congrats, Luigi. That's pretty big. And, yeah, if you ask me, do I think he's going to be convicted on the secondary murder, or if he's going to get off on, like, jury notification? I don't think he's going to get off. I think they're going to make an example out of this guy. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison.